All right, this is episode 10. Today we are talking about Steve Wariner and his 1987 album, It's a Crazy World, as being an overlooked album. I find this album overlooked because, number one, most people don't know who Steve Wariner is when I talk country. And this album really sucked me into country music. You know, it still has like an 80s vibe to it. It's not like more timeless like I think his album Drive might be. But I do think that this album is grossly overlooked and still probably might be his best record. Let's take a look at the songs. The album opens with the song Small Town Girl, which still might be my favorite Steve Wariner song. It's a song written by John Jarvis and Don Cook. It's just a great song. I love it. It always brings me back to the fall. And I don't know if it's because that's when I first heard the album. But I just get fall turning into winter. I love this song. Song number 2 was also a hit, a song called Linda. This song was written by Bill LaBounty, who I love this song. This Night Has Opened My Eyes that Michael Johnson did. I actually prefer the Bill LaBounty version. And this is a song he wrote called Linda. And as far as this album goes, it's not one of my favorites on the album. It's more of a traditional country song. I just feel it's a little phoned in for me. But some people really love it. And if this is one of the worst songs on the album, you're obviously in for a treat because it's still a good song. It's just for the album, it's one of the weaker ones. Song 3 is written by Dave Loggins, who was famous for Please Come to Boston for the Springtime. And this song is called If I Could Make a Living Out of Loving You. It is one of my all-time favorite songs. I love the music, I love the melody, I love the lyrics, I love the sentiment of the lyrics. It's just a beautiful song. And Vince Gill is singing backup. Song 4, another one where I feel like the sentiment is just right there. And it's called There's Always a First Time. Now this one, Steve co-wrote with John Hall and Joanna Hall. They are a married couple. They are responsible for some big hits in the band Orleans, Still the One, and Dance With Me. John Hall also had a solo band called the John Hall Band where they did that song, And I keep on falling in love, I'm falling back again, which was a song called Crazy. He also wrote Sales that Steve Wariner did on another album. Actually, he wrote it with his wife Joanna, and also Chet Atkins had covered Sales. This song, There's Always a First Time, is just a great song. Like I said, lyrically, I love this album. Song 5 on this album is Why Do Heroes Die So Young? This one Wariner co-wrote with Tony Brown, the producer of this album, and a lot of Steve albums. I think he also at one point ran Curb Records or was the president of Curb. But also he co-wrote it with Paul Davis, who had big hits with I Go Crazy and 65 Love Affair and Cool Night and Sweet Life, all those songs. This song, again, has a beautiful lyric sentiment, and it's just a real nice song. Also, I just want to say the guitar on all these tracks, Steve's playing is great. I love this album. Song 6 is a song called When It Rains. Now, Steve co-wrote this one with a guy named Mack McNally. I think that's how you pronounce it, or McNally. Mac plays guitar for Jimmy Buffett, but we won't hold it against him. He's a phenomenal guitar player, one of the great acoustic players. He's just awesome. And he has an incredible head of hair. There have been many times I've looked at it trying to see if it was a helmet or his real hair. I'm always like, can't tell. Anyways, great hair, great playing. The guy's awesome. This song, When It Rains, is just another great song of like when life just pours down on you. It's a fun song with a great beat. The next song, Song 7, which is the title track to the album It's a Crazy World, was written by Mack McNally by himself. It's a great song. He also does a version of himself, but I like Steve's version. It's just great. In fact, I think if you listen to Whiskey Lullaby, which was written by Bill Anderson and somebody, I can't remember who co-wrote it with Bill, but Whiskey Lullaby tends to take a little bit of this vibe. Either way, great effing song. Song 8, Hey Alarm Clock. This is a silly type song, and it's once again written by Dave Loggins. And it's fun and nice. It's not going to win any awards. It's not offensive. It's not bad. It's not like you listen to it and go, this sucks. But when you listen to it in the course of the album, it fits right in. And so I like it. I don't love it, but I like it. The next song, however, I effing love. And that is The Weeknd. Lyrically, sentiment-wise, everything about this song, even though there's something oddly familiar in the piano part, kind of has like a Christopher Cross feel, that late 70s, early 80s pop hit type of thing. And why not? Because it's another song by Bill LaBounty, this time co-written with Becky Foster. Just a great song. I can't say enough about The Weeknd. Just great. Really one of the all-time greats. The last song on the album, Fast Break, is probably my least favorite, and that was co-written with John Hall again, with Steve Wariner. I just find it to be a little silly, and it feels like a filler song, and it probably is. But overall, this album has just a great vibe from first song to end. As far as Fast Break being a bad song, it's not a bad song. It's just, when you compare it to the gems that are on this album, it's like, you could put that with Linda and maybe Hey Alarm Clock. And to me, I would say they're the filler on the album. Anyways, this album is very hard to find. You can go to stevewariner.com and buy the album from Steve. I believe he sells it, but otherwise it's out of print. You can't get it. You can buy it used on Amazon. There's no place to stream it. You can look up some of the songs because they ended up on a few different greatest hits of Steve's on Spotify. But for the most part, you're not going to find it. In the description, I will put links for 3 or 4 of the songs on the album that I can find that I think would basically give you enough information whether you want to go out and buy it. I suggest you buy it. Anyways, that's Steve Wariner's It's a Crazy World. Very good.